Recording. Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's training. So usually on a Tuesday night when we do training, it is normally based around, skills, strategies, mindset, something like that for the business. But I figured the other day, and I mentioned it to Kim, is that I need to start training more on new skin. You need to know more about new skin. So why not train on new skin? And what's something we have incredible here right now? I want a perfect opportunity to talk to you about something so powerful, and that is the Groviv story. So I want to ask you guys a question, and I need some interaction for you guys in the chat box. So the first question to you guys is, do you know much about Groviv and Epoch? And with your knowledge on Groviv and Epoch, can you talk to somebody confidently about them? So if someone says to you, oh, what's Groviv? Could you explain it? What's Epoch? Could you explain it confidently? Just put yes or no in the chat box from that, please, if you do. And if you write in yes, what I need you to write as well is what you know about Epoch, for example. That's what I want you to know. What do you know about Epoch? What do you know about Groviv? And I'll go through what people said earlier, and also how powerful a story can be, essentially. So yeah, so what do you know about it? Like what do you know about Epoch, essentially? Now most people have put an actual no, as if like they don't know enough about it to be confident, which love what Epoch does behind the scenes, not just the products, which is cool. Point is, we need to know these things, because if somebody come up to you and said, do you have any here's another question. Another question is, how many times has anybody ever had somebody come up to them or when you're talking to someone and say, I only use natural products, I only use organic products? What products do you have that are fully natural, fully organic? How many of you have had that objection from somebody? Because I bet most of you have done. I've had it hundreds of times, probably at least once a month. I will get somebody saying, I only use natural products, I only use vegan products. What products do you have that are natural? Are you organic? This kind of stuff. People always say that. So the point is, did you guys know that we have the Epoch range that's fully natural, fully organic? We have that, but we need to tell a story about it. But now we have Groviv as well, which is even more powerful. So before I get into what Groviv is, I'm really going to say it. Most people with Epoch and Groviv, so let's say with Epoch, only really know that it's natural and we give 25 cents back for every one sold. We donate it. Is that a powerful story when you're talking to somebody? It's not, is it? So if someone come to me and said, oh, hey, do you have any natural products? And I was like, yeah, we've got this Epoch range. It's all natural. We donate 25 cents for every one sold. It's not really super powerful, is it? It's not really going to blow someone out the water and make them be like, oh my God, love it. I'm buying it. I'm in. I want to sell it. I want to use all of it. It's amazing. It's not really that kind of like, knock it out the park thing, is it? It's not. So then you have Groviv. How powerful Groviv is as well when you actually talk about it properly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys a Groviv and Epoch training session. I want to teach you what Groviv is, what Epoch is, but also you guys will be able to take notes on all of this. So when you come across an objection or you want to tell the story of Groviv and Epoch, you can easily tell somebody. It's going to be that simple for you guys from following this. So before we get really into the presentation, I'm going to tell you how Groviv started. So basically, Groviv was how it started originally back in the day when they very first launched it. It was an LED light company. Okay, that's all it was. It was an LED light company. It was a hobby. It was a hobby company. It was an LED light company. And basically, the LED lights that they sold and they worked with, they donated towards and they helped rescue sex-slaved children. Okay, that's what they did. They made these LED lights, money that they got, they donated it towards rescuing sex-slaved children. That's what they did. But then they discovered they can actually use these LED lights because they don't produce any heat. These LED lights didn't. They don't produce any heat whatsoever. And they could use these LED lights to grow plants. So they started growing some plants with them. And what they found they was actually doing, that was feeding orphanages where they were rescuing these children. These children were going to orphanages and they was feeding these orphanages. And then what they was also doing, they were selling these plants and these crops to local hotels and local hostels. That's what they were doing. Somebody come in and saw what they're doing. They saw the untapped potential here, and they basically did a 180 with the business. So it went from being a hobby to a full scalable business that is like insane now what we have here. So let me just, that was really how it started. So let me just share my screen so you guys can see this little presentation I just knocked up for you guys quickly. So let me just hit start on this so you guys can see it. So Groviv. Okay, we've been through what Groviv. Now here's how you can start telling the story of Groviv. So let me tell you a little something about it. I basically had someone I know, this guy called Jeremy. Good friend of mine in the industry. He's earned millions as a network marketer. He's a network marketer, a bit of a legend. He's earned millions in the industry. And towards the end of last year, so around about November, December, somebody texts me, says, Dan, I need a call with you. And I was like, here we go. I know what you're up to, pal. I know the bomb you're going to drop. And he was like, no, I need to talk to you, Dan. I need to let you know what I'm up to, but I'm not going to prospect you. I need to let you know what I'm up to. Turn this off, really, so you can see me more. He's like, I'm not going to prospect you. I know what, but I want you to know what I'm up to. So I knew him. I knew what his game was. I've been here before, been around the block. So I was like, all right, let's have a call. Soon as we got the call, I was like, listen, I'm not a silly boy. I know what you're doing. Let's hear it. I wasn't interested in the slightest because I love news. I know we have it, but I was like, let me hear what you got to talk about. So start talking about it. Tell me what I'm up to. And then he tried to use a bit of reverse psychology on me and was like, so why are you so excited about New Skin right now? And I'd not long got back from Utah being through Groviv. So I told him the Groviv story. I told him about our acquisitions. And this multi-million-dollar earner said to me, I need a position. And I don't need to tell you anymore. If my gig doesn't work, I need a position. I'm coming to you. We're going to take over the USA. I need a position. But not right now because I'm busy launching this, what I'm doing. But I need a position. And I was like, let's do it. So I was like, right, let's do it. So anyway, so that's how, so when you know the story, you can tell it confidently. So I wanted just to tell you that first, like, because when you know the story, you can tell it confidently. So I started telling him about Groviv, but this is how I really did it. And this is what I love. So basically, what is the customer demand in the world nowadays? You can comment in the chat box. And when I finish this part, I'll come and look at the comments so I can see what you're writing. So please comment, be active in the chat box and talk in there, please. So the customer demand globally, how many times do we know or do we purposely go to a restaurant or when we're shopping and we look for organic products? We look for organic ingredients, right? But the customer demand is simple. Customers are now looking for safe, clean, pure ingredients. They're looking for improved nutrient density and they're looking for transparency and traceability. And people now want sustainability. We know climate change now in the world is huge. Okay, climate change is massive in the world. We know that there's a big issue with it. We know there's a big issue of environmental damage. We know fully that people want clean ingredients. Okay, how many people now will look at a product? They message us all the time. What ingredient has that got this in it? Has that got that in it? Has that got this in it? You know, we're purposely now looking for ingredients when we buy a product. When we buy food, we're looking to see what is in it. Veganism, bit vegetarian, plant-based, massive movement now. People care about what they eat. People care about what is in the product they put on their skin, they put in their bodies, they put on their hair. It's a fact. And if you guys know that and you do it yourself, just please comment in the chat box. People are looking for that. So the demand is there. The problem is this, okay? With growing seeds globally outside, the problem is this: contamination. There's a scarcity of resources, pesticides and herbicides, and population growth. So here's the issue. So, and I know this because I've seen it. Organic fields. Okay, you can have an organic field, but the issue can be this: you can have an organic field, let's say, for 10 miles of one road, and the other side of this big motorway is a non-organic field. So both same distance from the motorway. The issue is, it doesn't matter how far away you are from it, you are still going to get the smog from that motorway go up into the clouds, and you're still going to get the rainwater come down. You're still going to get the winds blowing across it. You're going to have pesticides, herbicides, whatever, put on non-organic fields, and that's going to blow across and mix in with the organic fields. So you're never going to get a full organic product. Never, ever, ever, ever. It's one of the reasons why I don't buy organic, because I know it to be honest, there's not much difference. So I don't buy organic. If I don't buy non-organic, I just wash it. So it's that simple. We know as well that, look at the Amazon rainforest recently, how much land is being used globally for agriculture. So much of it now is being burnt, rainforests are being burnt away for farmland. It's what's happening in the world right now. This is the problem. More people need more food. Okay, it's just a difficult side of it with it. And we're running out of farmland. We're running out of good farmland globally as well. This is what's happening. What is the solution? Controlled environmental agriculture plus our sciences, okay, which can provide pure, safe, and effective ingredients, high density nutrients traceable from seed to solution, which is sustainably sourced. Okay, now how powerful is that? Okay, so you think about this, that's the solution. So you take the problem away, there's a solution in place of it. So what is Groviv and what is a Groviv Grow Pod? And then I'm going to take you through what it all is. So Groviv, as we know, we've seen a presentation, it uses controlled environmental agriculture. Okay, so it's able to grow seeds and give it its perfect day by controlling the water, the temperature, the light, the nutrients. And it's able to grow seeds in days using these recyclable soil mats, using minimal water usage, and pods can be positioned anywhere in the world. So this is a Groviv Grow Pod. You've probably seen it on a small picture. Now, I've been inside one of these. It's amazing. Me and Hazel was the 5th and the 6th distributor to ever go in Groviv and see one of these. In fact, we was only the 4th person to actually see these. Giselle, Jonathan, me and Hazel, and then Cindy DeMayo walked in and we saw these. We were that early days seeing these. Okay, the only other people previously that's in Groviv facility was John Sexsmith and Craig Bryson when it was at the smaller facility, not at the one they have now. And we was inside one of those, and it's phenomenal. So let me tell you a little bit about it and how it all works. So in Groviv, think of it like this, okay? Groviv has, when you walk in, it has a seed cathedral of over 100 types of seeds. Now, think about this, okay? You have all this farmland, and on all this farmland, you can only do 1 to 2 harvests a year. Okay, so in actual fact, it's a long process. Here's what's happened with Groviv and also with agriculture as well. Seeds over time, they've been manipulated for better productivity. But how they've done that is basically they've added gluten into the seeds. Go back 100 years, nobody had a gluten intolerance. Nobody had celiac disease. No one. Wasn't a thing. But because we've added so much gluten to our food and to our seeds over the years to manipulate it, because they care more about productivity than nutrients. And that's why food was so crap 15 years ago and 10 years ago and even 5 years ago. Now it's getting better, but they added gluten to get the productivity better. Here at Groviv, seeds aren't manipulated. They don't need to be. Seeds don't need to be manipulated. So Groviv doesn't source manipulated seeds. They source complete natural seeds as is. So they're free to be used by absolutely everybody, okay? Now, everything is done at these grow pods to give a seed the perfect day, because its aim is to produce more faster and give it its perfect environment, rather than just producing a mass quantity of it. So what they discovered they could do, this is how it works. So basically, one of these grow pods is 25 foot by 25 foot. Okay. And now when I was in there, I said to them, okay, now this is small. Farms are massive. Like how, I couldn't comprehend it. And I was like, I don't understand. So he taught me through it. So basically a seed will start at the bottom of one of those rails as it goes around. It takes 6 days to rotate all the way around, to slowly rotate all the way around. When it gets to the top, it shoots out. 6 days, harvest done. So you can now harvest 6 days. One 25 foot by 25 foot grow pod is the equivalent to 100-acre farmland. That's how much it can produce. 25 foot by 25 foot is the equivalent to 100-acre farmland. Think about what this does for the environment. Okay, 100-acre farmland. How much fossil fuels is that going to need to use on machinery over the course of a year to do 2 harvests? To do 1 to 2 harvests over the course of a year, if they can get 2 harvests out of it, depending on the atmospheric conditions, rain, nutrients, and the earth and the soil. If they get 2 harvests, how much machinery will that use? Loads. They've got to scarify, they've got to dig up the earth, they've got to water it, they've got to protect it, they've got to then they've got to bring it all back in again, and then repeat and repeat and repeat. How damaging is that for the world? Massively. Here's another point as well. Farm and agriculture uses 70%. Agriculture uses 70% of the world's natural water sources to grow an ingredient. So think about this, and I didn't even think about this. Let's say, for example, I haven't got one to hand. You have a plant, and you have a plant pot about yay big, that big. Okay? But in actual fact, the root is only really about that big. But you have to put so much water in it to fill up all of the soil for the root to take it. Now you think if a plant is outside, how much water do you need to put on a plant outside to get it to grow? Absolutely loads in comparison to how big the plant is. Why? Well, because when you actually water it, how much water actually gets onto the root in comparison to how much is actually absorbed by the soil and then run away through drainage. Loads of water is wasted. Groviv grow pods use 1 to 3% of water. 1 to 3% in comparison they use. Mind-blowing. They can harvest, okay, over 1,000 harvests a year in comparison to 1 to 2 harvests a year compared to agriculture. Mind-blowing. But this is the exciting part. So what happens is, as it goes around, you have these little inside it as well, sorry. So don't use any soil. They use recyclable soil mats. So as it goes round, it gets on the top after 6 days and it comes out a little shoot and it's there. What they then do, they'll take all the seeds or the seedlings, they'll take them off the soil, then they can chop up the soil mats and put that in with the mix as well. Because they discovered that the most nutrients are actually in the root and in the first 6 days. That's why they only do a 6 days photosynthesis. So it only takes 6 days to do it, because that's when the most nutrients are there. So what they found was, with just doing that, they can actually chop all the mats up and they get even more. So there's no wastage. There's no water wastage. Okay, these are incredible. What we learned as well is that if 75% of that grow pod machinery failed, it can still operate. The very clever people that built these made it basically bulletproof, that if 75% of that unit fails, it will still operate to its capacity. Now that is very clever. So what they basically have found is, now you think about this, okay, now how powerful this is for our products. When people want all these sustainable products, they want to look at a packaging and be like, okay, what's in this? Is this natural? They want, oh, is this natural? Oh no, it's got this, this, and this. And we can say to someone, well, do you know what? It's just an example I picked up. This neutral scalp and hair conditioner, this was produced by, it isn't, it's just an example. We could say this is produced by Groviv. So every single ingredient you see on here is traced and sourced and sustained at our Groviv facility, producing this in a 6S process in 6 days. And we can actually show you the process here through a presentation. And you can show them the presentation of the ingredient. How powerful is that? Mind blowing. Now, this here, I love this, the picture I took at Groviv. What this is basically an area they are using to do tests. So think about this as well, okay? So at a farm will only do 1 to 2 harvests a year. Now, that means they can only test crops 1 to 2 times a year. So in actual fact, you could spend 6 months growing crops to find that you do your test, that you can't use those crops and you can't sell those crops because they don't meet the correct requirements, okay? Well, we can do thousands of tests every single year at Groviv. And what this area is here, they've discovered, I wrote this down, it's very clever. So they actually discovered, okay, in this area here, you can see they're using different red and blue lights. So what they're doing here, they found out, and the guy was telling us, that basically, let's say a plant is at the bottom of a rainforest, okay, and above it you've got all these different areas of leaves, of shrubbery, of canopies, all sorts. So not much light can actually get through to it. But what they actually discovered was that by testing seeds with different red and blue lights, they can actually strengthen the roots and give it more, sorry, in the next one, sorry, this is the next one. They can actually find it produces stronger roots. Then what they discovered, that through different types of music, because different types of music will create different vibrations and different stimulations in the seed, making it produce more fiber. It's mind-blowing. So because of all this technology, think about all the seeds that we can grow in one pod. You can grow in 125 foot by 125 foot pod. You can pretty much grow any seed you possibly want for any ingredient, any nutrient. If you make the space bigger, you can grow food. They've said the biggest crop they've grown there has been a pumpkin. A full pumpkin they grew in one of these. They grew a full one. So imagine the scalability and potential that you have right here with Groviv when you're talking to someone. Now, when I explained this to this guy, he was like, his mind was blown at the scalability and the potential what we have here. They use AI to test the plants and see what the best outcome is, basically, depending on the conditions. So they can do a test after 6 days and be like, right, okay, we need to change this, like this, heat this, and do another one. 6 days later, bang, we've got it. Now we've got the perfect one for this seed. Let's do another seed. 6 days later, bang, we've got it out of one pod. It's absolutely mind-blowing what this does for us as a company, what this does for our customers, what this does for anybody. Another cool thing as well, what we found out. So let's say, for example, this popped in my head earlier, but we found this out. So basically, imagine a 25 foot by 25 foot grow pod in a completely sealed, airtight container. Okay, so no oxygen could get in or out of there. And you made it big enough that you could fit 150 people in there. Now, if you put 150 people in a concealed container, how quickly are those people going to die because they're not getting any oxygen? Fast. Add in a 25 foot by 25 foot grow pod, those 150 people in a sealed container with a grow pod will survive because 125 foot by 125 foot grow pod produces 3,000 liters of oxygen an hour, meaning 150 people can live off of that. So you could literally position them anywhere in the world. So first thing that popped in my head was, holy shit, we could actually put these on different planets and people could live and survive off what was growing in Groviv grow pods. That's what popped into my head. I was just like thinking so big at this point. I was like, wow, we could literally put these on bloody Mars and I could go live there, eat, breathe, and survive just off a grow pod. That's what popped into my head. It was just like, wow, this is insane. So the sustainability, the growth behind this is just unbelievable. Okay, but this is where it gets even better. So this here is Bateman's Mesida Farms. It's a dairy farm in Utah. Now, half the issue with dairy farming is the animal feed farmland basically is destroying our rainforests. So the fires in the Amazon rainforest was basically they were burning away the rainforest to make more farmland, to make more animal feed, so people could basically have more milk and more cheese. Pretty much that's what was basically happening, hence why there's great big movement now towards climate change and more veganism and trying to get away from that kind of area because of that. So, and how much money does that cost a farmer to buy all that animals feed in? Fortunes. So as you can see, the big Groviv logo on that's inside that facility. They're building Groviv grow pods inside there, so now they're partnered with Groviv. So now all the animal feed is going to be made in Groviv grow pods. How quickly and how mass produced are they going to be able to make and produce animal food for their dairy farms using Groviv grow pods? How much less space is that taking? How much better is that for the environment? There's going to be more oxygen being produced. There's less fossil fuels, less land wastage, less water wastage, cleaner ingredients for the animals, which in turn then is going to produce cleaner milk for people to drink. Cleaner products are going to come out the other end of it. Mind-blowing. So let me just stop the presentation right there. I want to get on and read these comments. It's absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? So let me just read up to see people put. I can't see if it eats now. It does. Big appliance. Yes, it would do. Yeah. Like I said, they've grown a pumpkin in it. I'm going to put it on Mars. So think about, now a question to you guys is this, okay? Is that if you was an investor, now let's take new skin away from that. You as an investor and you looked at that presentation, would you want to put your money into that company? 1000% yes from me. I would want to put all of my money into that because I could see, and that's what I said to the guy. When I was in there, I turned around and said to the guy, I was like, Jesus Christ, I was like, this is a $10 billion brand you've got here. And the guy just looked at me grinning. I was like, this is a $10 billion brand. And then I found out the only other people that said that to him was Craig Bryson and John Sexsmith. That's what Giselle was like, hey, when I said it, she was like doing her Giselle thing. But it is essentially that's a $10 billion brand on its own. But then you add Nu Skin into the equation. What can that do for us as a company, for products, for a story to tell? Unbelievable. It's mind-blowing. Now, I'm going to blow your minds even more because we have Epoch. So right now, as we know, in October launching, there's two Groviv products launching. Yin Yang Mask, which is partnered with Groviv. It's a Groviv product partnered with Epoch because it's using Epoch science. That's why it's using Epoch science to create the Yin Yang Mask. It's all Groviv ingredients, and the green shake, which is all Groviv ingredients. No, not currently EMEA as we know yet, but that isn't an issue because we can sponsor anywhere in the world. We can sell products anywhere in the world, so it doesn't matter. But this is what's powerful, because when we talk about Groviv, we can also talk about Epoch because it is the same story. And this is why it's so powerful. So let me start this presentation, and I want to blow your minds on what Epoch is, because these products would have been in our catalog, in our back pockets for so long that people wouldn't even be telling the right story of Epoch. So let me just get onto this one now. So Epoch. So Epoch is basically ethnobotany. There's a lot of things in here I can't say, but I'll do my best. Okay, so basically, what is ethnobotany? Well, it's the study of how indigenous people uses plants. So we're already talking about plants. We've just been through a presentation on Groviv that can grow any seeds we want. And now we're talking about a range of products Nu Skin already has in Epoch that uses plants with indigenous people. And it's to study how indigenous people uses plants. So the science of the ethnobotany is this. Indigenous plants are used for food, medicine, but particularly medicine, okay? The ancient rainforest remedies can provide the leads to modern medicines. And we know that basically there's so many ancient remedies that now actually control modern medicines. And actual fact, I was reading a book recently that a lot of modern brain surgery and brain studies about the human body and brain has actually come from ancient monks that knew this way before science even existed in their ancient readings. So we know that ancient remedies and ancient practices control a lot of way modern science works. So ethnobotanical research is a streamlined way of locating plants that have medical potential. So you think about this, we're talking about medical potential plants, and we have Groviv. I'm so excited. So indigenous people have been testing plants on people for thousands of years, and this is from Dr. Paul Cox. Dr. Paul Cox, he's an ethnobotanist, and he's a world specialist in medicinal plants, and he has a PhD in biology at Harvard University. And he's one of our lead scientists, okay? He's an award-winning scientist. And I didn't even know this, that he won the Goldman Environmental Prize, which is basically the Nobel Prize of Environmental Conservation. And he's won that. And he's our lead scientist for Epoch. He's a director of the National Tropical Botanical Garden in Hawaii and Florida. So let's talk about nature's potential. We've already seen what Groviv can do, but listen to this. Less than 1% of the world's 265,000 flowering plants have had their effectiveness tested against disease. And most of these species that have been tested are found in tropical rainforest. So in actual fact, how many thousands and hundreds of thousands of plants out there that we actually know nothing about? But we have Groviv, and we have some of the smartest brains in the world at our company. Dr. Joe Chang told me when we're sitting down with a meeting, he was basically like, I said to Nu Skin, I want a playground. And they gave me Groviv. And he just sat there grinning. It was like, I told Nu Skin, I want a playground, and they gave me Groviv. So you imagine Paul Cox's brain and what he knows about plants, and then you imagine Joe Chang's brain, imagine Groviv, and what we can do is very, very exciting. So here's some plants that we know things do. So Rosy Periwinkle has yielded 2 cancer drugs. So a plant has created 2 cancer drugs, okay? Pacific yew bark. It contains Taxol, and it's actually effective against some breast and ovarian tumours. So a plant can help with tumours, and they've discovered this. Not necessarily new skin, but this is what scientists like Paul Cox have discovered. So snake root is used in tranquilizers and used to treat high blood pressure. I can't say that one, but it plays an important role in Samoan healing. And the stemwood is used to treat yellow hepatitis. Tea from bark is used as a treatment of hepatitis, and potion is made from the stems using the Samoan tree. So we've seen all of this and what it can do. Now, again, tie it in with new skin. So exciting. But here's actually where your money goes. People didn't know this either. So for every product sold, we know 25 cents of an Epoch product goes to support and conservation. Okay, here's where it actually goes. So Nu Skin is a part, and I didn't even know this for this presentation, but Nu Skin have a center for dermatological research at Stanford University in America. Stanford's one of the biggest universities in America. I think you've got like Stanford, you've got Harvard, Stanford, I think there's one other, which are the three big ones. Stanford's one of the biggest ones in America, and we have a center for dermatological research, and I didn't even know that. And basically, part of your donation goes towards the research of developing a genetic therapy to heal the wounds that will never heal on children. And it also goes into the partnership with international sponsors for corrective surgery for children who suffer various forms of disfiguring disabilities. So that's where your kind of money goes, okay, when you're using an Epoch product. This is where it gets exciting for us, okay? All that is massively exciting. I want you guys to think about the potential. Think about Epoch using plants. Think about Groviv, being able to grow anything that we want and make anything that we want. We can make anything that we want with Groviv, and we can study anything we want because we have the science and the skills with Epoch. Comment now if you're excited, because I am. My head's about to explode. So with ethnobotany and cosmetics, this is where it's powerful of what we have here, okay? So I'm going to go through a few of them. If you've used any of these products, just comment yes, okay? I've used Firewalker, love it. It invigorates, soothes tired, naked feet. Is that really a selling point, or is this a selling point? Well, in actual fact, it's completely natural because it uses ethnobotanical ingredients, and they're the ones it uses. It uses an alethea, that's a skin condition agent, and another one I can't say, and that's a softening emollient. How powerful is that for you to tell people? So powerful. Ice dancer, love it. I use it pretty much nearly every day after the gym. When I go to bed, well, I'm tired after gym or football or karate, and I use Ice Dancer. It's phenomenal. But this delivers instant relief to tired, naked legs. It's an amazing product. And I didn't even know, but this is how. Because it uses 2 ethnobotanical ingredients, horse chestnut and another one that I can't say. And you can see what it does. And it uses more. It uses eucalyptus and peppermint oil. And that's how it does it. So when you're talking to people about what it uses and how it does it, boom, there you go. One that we all love to use, a glacial marine mud mask, okay? Top to toe mud mask that cleanses, tones, refreshes the skin, okay? So this actually has an indigenous ingredient. And we know that it's a natural marine mud which is extracted from a remote glacial estuary in the Pacific Northwest and has excellent cleansing properties and effectively absorbing toxins and dead skin cells. But it also has a botanical ingredient, which is an algae extract. So it has all this kind of stuff. How much are these key selling points for you to talk to people? They're massive, but it's so exciting for us about what our products actually do. Avipuri, who uses that? I love the Avipuri shampoo. I've got one upstairs, and actually we've got a massive one we bought back from America, huge one. So I'm actually going to start using it. I'm going to put it in the shower and actually start using it. I love this one. So what it does, well, the ethnobotanical ingredient is a true Avipuri extract that's been used by Polynesians for centuries, okay? And that's how it does it. And it's got, then the conditioner is the same. The anti-dandruff shampoo, this has the Avipuri in it as well. It also has the anti-dandruff shampoo. It has this one in it. It has clematis leaves, which is sage and nettle used by Native Americans to soothe dry and flaky skin. But again, think about Groviv when you're thinking about Epoch now. Everglide foam shaving gel. Who's used this? Well, you can see what it does for men and women, CFC-free. It uses ethnobotanical ingredients, okay? I'm not going to pronounce it one because I can't, but we can see what it does. It uses more here too. As you can see, glycerin, sorbitol, all different ethnobotanical ingredients. It's mind-blowing, guys. Blemish treatment. Now, this is exciting for you in South Africa because you're getting this very soon. So blemish treatment. Now, what does this have inside it? Okay, take some screenshots of this, guys, because look, it uses job tears, which is used historically in Asia, and it's been discovered to soothe and skin affected with acne. It uses yarrow because help which helps soothe irritated skin. It uses burdock, which helps clear up troubled complexions, and chamomile extract, which is calm and soothes. And this is how to use it. You cleanse the skin thoroughly, apply with affective area in a thin layer for up to 3 times a day. That's what it does. Isn't that powerful for you guys to talk to customers about now? When everyone's like, oh yes, a spot cream, spot cream, spot cream. It's way more than that, guys. This uses ethnobotanical ingredients. This uses ethnobotany science. This is an incredible natural product. And 25 cents of what you buy is going to go actual helping genetic research for skincare for children. Mind blowing. Hand sanitizer, okay, uses lavender as an ethanobotanical ingredient. The citrus deodorant, Cody loves this. You know, we love it for Cody because it's not an antiperspirant, so it hasn't got any aluminium or anything like this inside. It's just completely safe for him to use, and he loves it because it smells great. He doesn't really sweat much anyway, so he doesn't need an antiperspirant. He's only a little bubba, but he loves having this big boy deodorant. You know, I've let him use my one of this. But when you see why, what this has in it, it has so much stuff in it. You plants that you use in Haiti as a skin soother, grapefruit seed extract, because it provides long-lasting freshness, chamomile extract for skin soothing properties, all this kind of stuff. Polish bar, what you guys have as well. Okay, well, it uses the indigenous ingredient for the mud mask, but also the polish bar has an ethnobotanical ingredient because that's derived from a tree treasured by the Native Americans in the Pacific Northwest. Guys, my mind is just blown with the potential and what we have here. Sorry, I thought you said someone would drop my phone. No. So what we need to think about is what we have with Epoch already, what we have coming with Groviv, but not just what we have coming, the potential what we have with Groviv. Now, I know that was so much information for you guys so fast, and I had to get through it quite quickly because there's just a lot on. I could talk about this for hours. Yes, Leanne, what I'm going to do, I've made these slides up myself. Well, actual fact, the Epoch slides, they're on the back office, guys. I just pulled those Epochs, the Groviv ones I made myself, the Epoch presentation, it's off the back office, guys. I found that in the back office the other day when me and Jonathan were talking about Groviv and Epoch, and I mentioned to Kim, I was like, man, I need to do some actual new skin training for you. You guys need to learn about new skin training. So I was like, man, wow, I'm going to train on that. And then I was talking about this, and I just looked at the back office and found an Epoch presentation. Done it. But what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to actually add this presentation into the group. Okay, but what I'm also going to do, I'm going to try to write up some of my notes on there as well, just so you've got some tools to talk to people about, so you can find it easily for yourself. But who already, with just a little bit I went through, with the notes you've taken, feels more confident if you had to talk to somebody about Epoch, talk to someone about Groviv, and they come to you and answer a question, you could answer more confidently now. Do you feel more confident as if someone said to you, oh, do you have any natural products? Yes, we do. We don't just have natural. We have products that use ethnobotany. What's that? Let me tell you. So the products that you're actually using, they're based on plant science. So Groviv now is so incredible. We have so much potential here. I am so excited about what we have here. Now we need to just bring people to the table. That's all we need to do. We need to bring people to the table because we have something powerful here. We have what you guys have just learned. Trust me, no one's talking about this. Well, I've been to leadership meetings in the UK. People didn't even know what Groviv was. They didn't even know. They never even heard the name Groviv. So some people are so far behind on what's happening in the future. So it's now connecting the right people to the right story. And you guys now are in the hottest seat out there. So guys, anyway, before I rabbit onto much, I kept you on quite a while now, and I do apologize, but I know it's good information. We wanted to do it, and every other Tuesday, I'm just going to drop in a new skin training for you guys. So I'm going to do a new section in the training unit. It's going to be a new skin training section. The first training section you've got in there is Groviv and Epoch and the future of the company. Very exciting time for us, guys. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. My advice to you now would just be to get on social media, post about what you've just learned. Post about how excited you are about it. If you see my post earlier, all I did was, it's so exciting for us in the future. Get out there, make some noise, okay? Get in the group chats, make some noise, stir up the business partners, Tell everyone how exciting the future is. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great evening. I'll speak to you all soon.